Well, it's still winter in Michigan, and I need to do another little thing to my motorcycle. Not too many more things to do. I'm not sure exactly what else I can do to the bike. I really like the way it is right now. I think I have all of the little doodads on there that I want to put on. It runs great. It has a new front tire on it. I have about just shy of 20,000 miles on it. It has its latest winter oil change. The only thing left, you can't get at the air for pumping up the rear shock very easily without pulling off the other side case. And on this bike here, when you add these little Kuryakin heat shields, it makes it even tougher to get this side case off. This side case is a tough one to get off anyhow. Especially with these flaps on here. So, and the air for the rear shock is right back here. So they make that extension with a little bracket, that little kit. A little pricey. Probably could have just bought a air extension line at an RV dealer or something like that. But I like the little bracket that they have available, and that's going to go right here. So I'm going to work on that. Now once I get that done and put that on, I'll be able to monitor my air more readily, and I won't have to mess with pulling the side cover off. Otherwise I ride around with almost no air in the shock, and it's a little squishy, and if I do any twisty riding or I load it up for a trip or something like that, I've got to pull that side cover off. So this is going to make that a lot easier, and that's what I'm going to work on. And after that's done, I think the only major thing that I can do to this, which I haven't done yet, is to change the exhaust and possibly add 5 cubic inches to the engine. Am I putting a what's that, the 116 kit on here? And I don't think I'll do that for a couple years. So I kind of like the way it sounds with the stock exhaust. I like the performance as it is, and I'm going to probably leave that part alone. So there's not much else I can do to the bike. Okay, so I bought this kit, and in the kit you get a little plate, a little bracket with 2 holes in it, and this air line extension. Okay, so that's the company. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a hex here, so you have to kind of grip it with some pliers. I'll wrap something around that so I don't scratch that up, although it's not seen. This connects to the bike, and then at this end it does come with a valve stem cover and a nut for the bracket, and so that's what you get. Not much there. I think with shipping and everything it was close to $40 some, and I think I could probably buy this particular line, I'm not sure, maybe for 16 bucks or something like that at an RV store, but I wouldn't have this plate, although I probably could make a plate like that for almost nothing and spray it black and put it on the bike. So there are less expensive ways to do this. So just mentioning that. So let's pull the side cover off now. It's got this, I want to scratch the paint up. That's the tough part. Okay, to get this nut off here, I am using a 22mm socket. That wasn't too tight, that was good. Get that off. Now, it's on there pretty good. I'm gonna try something. Okay, in a video I watched, and I suggest watching other videos on how to do this, I noticed that this comes out a little difficult. It's kind of, I don't know if the paint or whatever is stopping it from popping up, but I want to push it in that direction. So I put the nut back on there loosely, a couple threads in, and I'm taking a spark plug socket, a little smaller in diameter, and I'm going to tap it. That worked, and that made it, got it loose. So I kind of broke it loose from the frame. Now you can just push that out. Oops, oh, great. There we go. And we'll just bring that up in this direction. Okay. Now, just in case I ever want to put that back into its original hole, I don't want to lose this nut. So I'm going to just tighten that down. I'll get a wrench, I'll tighten that down. Okay, I'll just put a crescent on the back and just use this one here just to snug it up a little bit. Alright, that shouldn't shake off. That's good. Now, I'm going to get some Teflon. I'm going to check my air pressure. What kind of air pressure I have in there currently, right now. Let's check that. I have not pumped this up in 4 months. So I just like to see how much the system is leaking air. And I pumped it up to 30 pounds of PSI. So let's see what we have in there right now. Okay, the bike comes with a little valve stem cover, and I took that off. Now let's just check the air pressure. Well, it sounded like there's something in there, but there's not enough to even pull this thing out. So I have less than 10 psi in there. So just by letting the bike sit, you lose pressure. So next thing I'm going to do is get some Teflon tape. Okay, we get some Teflon tape. Now, some people use not Teflon tape. They'll use the liquid. I've had good luck with Teflon tape, so I'm going to use Teflon tape. Okay. Get that thing twisted on, covered up the Teflon. So since it doesn't have a hex on here that I can put a wrench on, I'm going to take a microfiber, wrap it around here, and let's see, I can get this wrench on back here. That's good. And let's use one of these. See if we can snug this up. I think it's on pretty good. Okay, my next task will be to fish it through, and I gotta see where I can go. Looks like I can go right through here. So I've got to put that through there. So we'll do that next. Well, I just thought of something I should do before I go and route this through. Is now that I've got this tight here, I'm going to check for air leak here. So I'm going to pump this up and see what I can come up with here. Let's see if this works. Okay, little pump that you get with every one of these bikes. And we'll pump this up to, say, 50. That's 25. Alright, we're at 50. Alright, let's take this off. Okay, now let's try some soapy water. Let's see if that works. The soapy water already has bubbles in it. I gotta get rid of my bubbles. Let's try that again. I don't see any bubbles. That's a good thing. Alright, I think I've got that on tight enough. I think we're good. So let's try routing this through. Put this cap back on for no reason. Just put it on. Okay, now I want to go through here. Let's see, and that way. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright. That was easy. Now I'm going to take a tie strap and I'm going to strap this down so it doesn't bump against the shock in there. Little tie strap in here. And just make sure that this line doesn't interfere with the shock. So I'm going to use the hole that I have here. And okay. Yeah, hopefully we got this on the right direction. Okay. Okay, so on this side here, I'm going to be removing this bolt right here, and then removing this little clip that's holding this wire in place. Oh, that wire just popped right out. How cool. Okay, so I'm going to remove this clip and replace it with that other little plate that they gave me. And we'll do that right now. I guess this ends right here, which is, I'm not sure what it is. Yep, that's the right one. Alright, so we're going to get this off. Let's back it up. This should come out. Yep, so that came out. It's just a little horseshoe. I'm going to get rid of that. You notice that this hole is offset to one side. That's the hole that this screw is going to go through. And according to the instructions, this hole should be more forward than backwards. So not that way, but this way. So let's see if that's right. Okay, I have to admit, getting this plate lined up here so that I could get this screw back in here was not an easy task. What I used is I used an awl, and I dropped this, pushed this down in there, and I used that to center up the hole And once I did that, I was able to get this screw started and run in here. Okay, in the process of trying to get this little bracket in here, it's just a little bit thicker than this little piece of metal here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. This is pretty thin. This is about 3 times the thickness. But it goes in the same spot. And it is important that you do that hole forward like that. And because there's a slot in the frame that goes into. And I do have to admit, it's not easy to do. I used a larger screwdriver just to pry the case back so I didn't have to remove all the other bolts for this housing. I just leaned it back just a little bit to get a couple more thicknesses of metal through there. And let's put this line through here. And we'll take valve cover off. Don't lose that. Take this nut off. Alright. Feed this through the bracket. Let's try that again. Hopefully my head's not in the way. Okay, so that comes through just like that. That's cool. That's going to be very handy. Let's put this on. As you noticed, I only had to take the one side cover off to do this. I didn't have to pull the seat off, take off this other side cover, or anything like that. Let's put this on. Needle nose with me here. Would be nice to have. Let's get it going in the right direction. Yeah, this is a much better way to do it. Alright. That looks good. I think I'm going to have to take a little black paint, touch that up right there. Now, one more thing to do. Got a loose wire here now. It's kind of trapped there, but I'm going to put a tie strap on that too. So let's do that now. Okay, got that wrapped around there. I'm going to just tie it off to a new airline. Yeah, there we go. And we'll nip that off. And basically I'm done. Let's check to see if we have air in here. Let's see. Hey, we have air in there. And we have 50 pounds. So that works. Pretty cool. Now it's handy. That wasn't a bad project. Now I have to just struggle with that cover on the other side. Put that back on. Put the bike back over in the corner. Put it up on the jack. Cover it up. Wait for the spring. So that's it for this little project. Till next time.